This broadcast of Icebergs hockey on the Icebergs television network is brought to you by Stoughton Hospital. For more than 100 years, our neighbors in the Stoughton area have trusted Stoughton Hospital to provide personalized, forward-thinking expert health care. Stoughton Hospital is a proud supporter of WSTO programming, trusted care close to home in both Stoughton and Oregon. Stoughton Trailers is proud to support Stoughton High School athletics. Come join the family. Apply now on our career page at stoughtontrailers.com. Four Lakes Broadband, robust business-class residential fixed wireless internet service with great customer service. The Icebergs television network is powered by the Stoughton Sports Network.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to Icebergs Hockey here at the Mant Community Center in Stoughton. Thanks for tuning in to WSTO TV. My name is Zach Seeloff, and I'm joined in the booth, as always, by my broadcast partner, Dan Graychuk. Dan, great to be here with you tonight.
Always good to be here, Zach.
We've gotten a few boys' games in. This is our first girls' game of the season. Two teams that are doing what a lot of girls' teams are doing in the state, looking to deepen their bench a little bit, build the sport here in the state of Wisconsin. We've got the Icebergs, which are a co-op team of Stoughton, Deerfield, McFarland, Oregon, Evansville, and Monona Grove. They're playing host to the Viroqua Blackhawks. That's Youth Initiative High School, Westby, Laurel, and Viroqua, all from out in the Vernon County area. And Dan, we were talking to the coach from Viroqua at the start of this game. Last year, they played their whole season with 9 skaters and a goalie, which is a tough way to play a scrimmage, let alone to play with a varsity high school team. They lost 2 to graduation, but they added 8 more girls, a much deeper roster this year, but still working on that building process.
Yeah, and that's going to take some time. As girls hockey grows, and it is growing everywhere so quick, there's still going to be that little lag period in between the kids that are now going into that and the girls who are now in high school. So unfortunately, there aren't as many available, and that's why you have to do these co-ops. But what we're also seeing from that is some incredibly skilled players coming out of these pools, and we've done a number of girls games where honestly the speed and the finesse and the talent is better than some of the guys' teams we've seen.
Well, and that's because of, in some sense, because of the difference in the rules. For those of you who may not be familiar with the differences between the games, in the boys' game, you can body check, so you can, crash hard into the body of the puck carrier. In the girls' game, that's not permitted. Doesn't mean there's no contact. They'll still get into it with each other as they fight for the puck, but you can't deliver those big open ice hits that we see in the boys' game. And one thing that does, and you and I have a referee friend who's talked about this, when they made the change where they moved checking for kids from 10 years old to 12 years old, that really changed the way these kids play the game, because there's a lot more to hockey than just delivering hits, and you really get to see that in the girls' game.
You absolutely do, and since they spend so much more time developing those great breakouts, good transitions, real quick passing, you see that kind of grow as the team gets better through the season. And that is something that you don't get to see too much when all the emphasis is put on a physical type of game.
Folks, you're listening to Girls Ice Hockey here on WSO. You can visit You can visit us at WSTO.tv. This game will be uploaded to YouTube a little later on, and we're also on Charter Cable System Channel 980. Big thanks to our sponsors, Stoughton Hospital and Stoughton Trailer, for helping us bring this event to you. Let's talk about the home team, Icebergs. This is a team that has struggled to kind of find their footing in the Badger Conference over the last several years. They've got a lot of talented players. Haley Heifel, 6 goals, 11 assists over her career. Sydney Schipper, 9 goals, 12 assists. Aaron Olson, 24 goals, 13 assists. They've got players who can do some damage, and they've got goalies that have some experience. Abby Siebold is a junior. She's seen 21 games where she got the win of the loss stat. Senior Cora Zimmerman is new to the team, but has seen some action as well in previous years. They just haven't quite been able to work it all together, and that's, I think, the downside of that co-op system. Players come and go a lot more frequently when you're not just drawing from one high school's population.
And that's very true, and not only that, when you look at who they ended up playing in the first 6 games of the season, we've been lucky enough to do a lot of these girls' games throughout southern Wisconsin, so we're very familiar with the Metro Lynx, Cap City Cougars, Fox City Stars, the Warbirds. These are all teams that go deep into the state finals.
I would say these are perennial visitors to the Alliant Energy Center at the end of the year.
Exactly. So when you've got a team like this that is growing, you're going up against teams that have had this depth for a considerable period of time. and it takes a little bit for you to find your way and find the team's identity. But the people that they've played, again, ridiculously talented teams, and they were still able to keep going and stay in those games, and that's really where the learning experience of these kind of events go on.
When you're trying to build a team, what is the most difficult thing? Because to my mind, and this may come from being a skater, it would be goaltending. It might just be that I don't understand it, but finding a good goaltender is hard. It's like finding a good quarterback in football. If you don't have that, it's awfully hard to build a team in front. But when you're trying to build a squad, what do you look at as like that bedrock that you can construct the rest of the team around?
You know, it's so tough, especially when you talk about goaltending, because usually the way they find goaltenders is in the real peewees. Every kid has to play goalie, or whoever has the equipment or fits the equipment is now the goalie. Very rarely do you have somebody who goes in right away from real young saying, this is what I want to do. You want to make sure you have a very talented goaltender, but I think where you really need to focus more is leadership on the bench and on the ice, and who's going to be able to move the play forward, to communicate well with everybody, and to buy into a coaching system. I think that's almost more important than good goaltending.
When we look at the Icebergs stats in terms of this year, one that jumped right out at me, shots on goal per game. The Icebergs generating about 22. That's a respectable amount on the lower side, but I think you'd be like, well, that's not going to hurt us too much, right? But their opponents, 40.5 shots a game, and where your opponents are out shooting you 2-1, almost no matter who you put in net, it's going to be awfully tough to compete at that rate.
Absolutely, and again, you want your goaltender to be in the game, and you want to also make sure that everybody feels comfortable and confident with their goaltender, but you don't want to overwork them, especially in the first period or two, because as the game goes on, the more that you're tired, if you were already giving up a lot of shots, you're going to put your goaltender in bad spots, and you want your goaltender to always leave you in a place where you can win the game, but you don't want to put the whole game on their back.
Let's talk a little bit about the visiting Viroqua Blackhawks. Like I said, Westview, Laurel, Viroqua, and the Youth Initiative High School, all schools out there in Vernon County, make up the co-op team that is the Blackhawks. They're 1-3-0 on the season, 1-1 in the Badger Conference coming into this game. We talked about it at the top. 8 freshmen on the squad last year. 9 skaters plus a goalie. They lost 2 of those to graduation. They added 8 more. Still kind of a short roster, and a lot of sisters on this goalie. We have Rachel Simonson and Erin Simonson that are sisters, and then we have the Deline sisters, Alessandra, who is out for this game, and then twins, freshmen Rhiannon and Cadence, who will be taking the ice. So kind of a family affair on this team, if you will, and a team that is looking to build a program just as the Icebergs are, trying to make a go of it this year.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when you're able to play with siblings, there's definitely a personality issue that can sometimes happen, but the benefit is you've got people who know each other really well. You can really gel with them, and you can see a chemistry when you're out there. Probably the most famous version of that are the Sedines, who played for Vancouver, and they just always knew where the other one was going. So you get to cheat a little bit on building that chemistry when you have so many people that are either related or have been playing together since a young age. So that definitely helps them out.
When we look at star power over on the Icebergs, they have Aaron Olson, their senior from McFarland, 24 goals, 13 assists. Got a pair of stars on the Blackhawks. Kelsey Shaner from Viroqua, a senior forward, 26 goals, 21 assists. And then Erin Simonson, who played for the Madcaps last season. Honorable mention all-conference for Badger Conference last year, 26 goals, 19 assists. She's just a junior, a forward and a defender. Plays both ways depending on where they need her, and when you have a roster this size, you're going to have to ask for people to shuffle positions depending on how things go. So they've got people that have some potent games that can do some damage here. It's just a matter of taking that step to that next level. You and I have talked about that in the boys game, where there are definitely kind of rungs of the boys game. Some teams are at the top, some teams are still building, and it feels like Viroqua's a team that's maybe poised to move up a level here.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, some people would look at the size of their bench as being a detriment, but I think you hit on something that's really important. They're used to changing positions quickly. They're used to having to adapt and cover. When you've got a team that just does that naturally, that really is an advantage, and that's really difficult to do with a full bench. When you've got 3 straight lines, plus a power play and a penalty kill line, you're constantly moving bodies around. When you have 2 lines, essentially, you can mix and match and do anything, which really makes it difficult for the other team. So, yeah, I think Viroqua is looking at hopefully jumping up to the next rung. Unfortunately, right now, the records on both these teams aren't the greatest, but they're playing some ridiculously talented programs.
Let's take a moment to be evangelists for the sport of hockey here. You and I are both big fans. We both play. As adults, I got into it as an adult. You've been playing it for your whole life. If there's a parent out there, the parent of a daughter especially, who is considering, you know, am I going to send my daughter to play soccer or basketball? Am I even going to get into organized sports? What's your pitch for why hockey is the sport they should go for?
I think it's a tough one to answer, because the first thing you have to do is get around that whole objection of they're going to get hurt, they're going to lose their teeth, they're going to get concussions. Hockey is a mental and physical game that really builds up strength, confidence. It really gives kids the ability to grow in so many different ways, because you're not just skating, you're not just shooting. It's a mental game, and hopefully people are going to realize that it's not about fighting. It's not about these huge hits. What people like to see is the amazing save, the great pass, the nice shot. And that's kind of the route that I would go, and I hope more parents look out and say, yeah, I think she might enjoy this. Get her out there, get him out there, get anybody out there. The more people that want to come out and play, the better the sport is.
I do love this game, I have to say. It is an awful lot of fun to play it. It's an awful lot of fun to broadcast it. It's a ton of fun just to watch it. If you live in the south central Wisconsin area, the UW teams, both the men and women, the women in particular, I think, are just a delight to go see. There's always hockey around. Come out and see it and get involved. As you look at both these teams, then, just before we get started here with the PA, what do you want to see from each team? You know, first period, what do you think each team should do to try and make a statement here?
Well, I think the Blackhawks need to come out and really start pushing hard. They're on a 3-game skid. They won their first game. They need to make their presence known quickly, and the way they're going to do that is by generating shot after shot. That being said, on the other side, the Icebergs really need to push hard right away, because they haven't won a game yet this season. So they really got to start pushing to try and get that first shift, that first goal, and then build confidence on that. The thing that hurts teams more and more as they have a rough season with wins and losses is the confidence level. They second guess themselves. They would rather pass that extra time than try something a little new. There's nothing to lose at this point. You just go out there and you do new things and try and build and go.
Alrighty, the referees are hitting the ice. The Zamboni door is closing up. We'll head over to the PA announcers to get the starting lineups. It's the Viroqua Blackhawks visiting here at the Mant Community Center against the Icebergs co-op team. Stay tuned to WSO TV, WSTO TV's coverage of girls hockey here in Wisconsin.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Mant Center and WIA Girls Hockey. The Iceberg co-op team, high school, Atlantic Conference, and WIA require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials as part of the matter. Profanity, racial, sexist, ethnic comments, and other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. State law prohibits the use of tobacco products inside the community center. Tonight's game features the Viroqua Blackhawks against our Icebergs. And now the starting lineups for the Viroqua Blackhawks. Starting goal, number 34, Abigail Severson. On defense, number 20, Sylvie Shanka. Also on defense, number 14, Lydia Fry. At forward, number 13, Angie Harnish. Also at forward, number 16, Kendall Eckert. And at center, number 17, Kelsey Shaner. Followed by the rest of the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are coached by Paul Severson and assisted by Cassie Halverson and Ashley Whitney. And now for the Icebergs, starting at goal, number 28, Aven Gruner. On defense, number 20, Kelsey Waltner. Also on defense, number 18, Sophia Matero. At forward, number 10, Taylor Nishis. Also at forward, number 15, Cindy Schipper. And at center, number 19, Aaron Olson. All by the rest of the Icebergs. The Icebergs are coached by Zoe Kern and assisted by Jake Bonset-Field. Tonight's officials are Tim and Wade Fraley and Dave Perwerda. Now, to honor America, those defending our freedom, we ask those who are able to please stand, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back, everyone. Zach Seeloff and Dan Graychuk with you in the booth, just about to get started. It's the Viroqua Blackhawks visiting the Icebergs here at the Mann Community Center in Stoughton. Dan, we talked about what both these teams need to do. In a first period game, how much of it is sticking to your system and how much of it is kind of probing to see what they'll give you? In other words, how much is set and how much is kind of improvisation?
You know, I'm thinking they probably had a very distinct setup or system to start the season off. But I think as these teams have gone through, I think you're going to see them try new things, and I think that's a real good idea. I mean, another thing with the goaltending start for the Icebergs, having Aven Gruner start, I believe this will be her second game?
This will be her fourth.
She's
game. 0-3-0 this season, got an 84.5% save percentage.
So again, you as a coach want to see your goaltender make that about 85%. That's kind of that one place you want to be. If you're able to build that up by getting more confidence in some of the players, that's going to make a big difference. So I think it's going to be more try new things, just try to build confidence.
Alrighty, we did hear the starting lineups for both these teams. For the Icebergs, it'll be Taylor Nishis, Sydney Schipper, Sophia Macero, Aaron Olson, Kelsey Waldner, and as Dan said, Aven Gruner will be in the net. For the Viroqua Blackhawks, starting on the ice, Angie Harnish, Lydia Fry, Kendall Eckern, Kelsey Shaner, and Sylvie Shanka. And in net will be Abigail Severson. No backup goalie for Viroqua, as Amelia DeClerc is out sick tonight. Faceoff is won by the Icebergs, and we are underway. 3 17-minute periods here in the girls' high school game. Battle right at center ice. Neither team able to get it cleanly. Still being poked around, and still no one can really get a good possession of this puck. The referee trapped on the sidewall. Icebergs do finally settle it down, control it in their own zone. Backhand ahead is out of the reach that time for Sydney Shipper. Comes all the way down into Blackhawks territory. They send a long one, and it'll be gathered by the Icebergs once more. 16:30 to play in this scoreless first period. As the Icebergs stop up and look for a play along the outside edge. Good hold by Viroqua, and they've got an offensive chance here as they flip it down beneath the net. Battle behind the Icebergs net, sent into center, but quickly skated away, that time by Aaron Olson of the Icebergs. Viroqua sends it back in, but they'll have a delayed offsides, have to check up. So Dan, early on here, neither team able to get a good possession, good entry, a little bit flailing early on.
Yeah, but again, we're seeing exactly what you want to. They're moving the puck backwards instead of trying to force it forward. They're trying to get the kind of breakout they want.
Dangerous giveaway there, and a quick shot from the low slot doesn't make it through traffic. Second chance is blocked up as well. The Icebergs live dangerously. Viroqua nearly stole one from them there.
Yeah, and that's one of those areas you got to be real careful with. So don't be surprised if you see an icing here real soon.
Icebergs look to drag this one out, caught up in the skate blade, and a nice move through, carrying this one is Viroqua, and a great save. Erin Simonson has 26 goals to her name for her career, and she is turned away by Aven Gruner.
Yeah, Gruner had a really good angle, was able to see that shot all the way in. I think she tried to go a little bit against the grain on that shot, but Gruner covered it real well, gets the whistle.
Face off far side of the Iceberg zone with 15:33 to play here in the first period. Still scoreless at the Matt Community Center. Viroqua sends that one into the corner. It'll be gathered up by the Icebergs in the person of Hannah Weber. Turned around the opposite direction, and now they will skate this one forward. In center ice, Izzy Newton trying to play it ahead. Knocked once more by Viroqua and then swatted in by Haley Hafel. And sent into the far corner of the Blackhawks zone. Blackhawks there, a little collision along the side wall. But this one's going to be held by Viroqua. It's Rachel Simonson carrying it up her near side. Pass through the middle. It gets it out over the blue line. Blackhawks with a little chance and a nice cross ice pass that time to find Erin Simonson. Simonson into the high slot, drags around one player, loses the puck, following along a shot. It's bouncing, but Gruner able to cover it. That's one you hate to see as a goaltender. Lou Nanini put that one in, but Gruner able to get the glove on.
Yeah, the whole slot was clogged, and that puck kind of went back, and somebody just took a little shot at it, and it was a real weird bouncer coming in, but again, quick glove, get the whistle.
14:48 to go in the first period. Again, face off far side of the Iceberg zone. The Icebergs do win it and send it to the opposite edge for Sydney Shipper. The captain up the right side has it knocked away from her. Following behind is Shonka. Both players tight on the net. Now Shonka will skate it to the far side. Cuts through her own slot. Again, a dangerous giveaway shot, and what a quick pad save. A nice shot turned in by Viroqua on that one from Moira Ellefson. But Gruner able to turn it away. She's made 3 big saves in this game already.
She's had to stand tall for a couple of these, and it's been some bad decisions by some of the forwards coming out of the zone going in front of the crease.
Icebergs with a giveaway at center ice, but now they steal it back, and Sydney Shipper's got a one-on-one. Shipper to the outer hash marks, will stop up, look for the play, backhands it all the way down beneath the net. That one taken by Nicias. Has it poked off her tape, and that one's moved forward by Shonka of Viroqua. Giveaway to Nicias again. As they shove up against the wall, it's Shonka coming up with it once more. Trying to find an outlet pass, moves it through center ice, and now the Blackhawks coming the other way. Kelsey Shaner knocks it in, but has it stripped away immediately as both teams get a change, and now coming forward for the Icebergs and moving it behind the net. Izzy Newton carrying that puck. Taken off her tape by Lydia Fry of the Blackhawks. Her pass, though, goes right to Newton. Newton on the bottom of the circle takes a low-angle shot, and it's deflected wide of the cage. Comes to the near side wall with 13:19 to play in this first period. Coming up the ice now. Moving aggressively is Kendall Eckern. Dumps it into the zone, and her team will give chase. Eckern on the wall, can't stop that one. Coming towards the point, and this will be held by Rianne and Deline. But forced out into neutral ice, and Shaner backhands one along. We've got a stick on the ice. The player lost a stick a little earlier in play, but we'll continue to go with 12:52 here in the first period. Lou Nanini passes that one out of the blue line. A nice job into center, trying to find Harnish. Harnish gives that one over to Eckern. They move into the zone. Harnish near side now. Swipes it along, trying to get it to Eckern along that rear wall. Icebergs play it up the near side. Newton goes all the way across ice. She finds Nelson. And we've got a delayed offsides against Viroqua. They check up and will pursue. cross ice, and they find Nicias. On the right side edge, good defensive play by Viroqua, tapped in by the Icebergs, but the Blackhawks control in their own zone. Try to find a home run pass that time, looking for Simonson. She goes across to Gabby Olsen on the left wing edge. Olsen playing with the skate, with the stick, whatever she can do to hang on to this puck. Viroqua not quite able to hold it, though. It does come out into neutral ice, and then the giveaway to Schipper. Schipper left wing side now as she enters the Viroqua zone. Chips one in and follows it along behind the net. Tapped away from her to the near side as the Icebergs get a change. Viroqua looks to clear it out of their own zone. Giveaway in the center, shot, far down, and a score! A turnaround from Sydney Schipper in the low slot, takes the bottom of the crossbar and makes it 1-0 Icebergs.
That was an amazing setup coming from that left wing. As the puck's going back behind the net, just a quick little behind the back shot, and she's right in the middle and lights that thing, just hits the bottom of that crossbar, bounce it down. Beautiful setup, great work all the way in, and they score on their first shot on goal.
The Icebergs get on the score. Sydney Schipper credited with the goal. Hannah Weber and Kiernan Hovland get the assists on that one. And the Bergs take the lead 1-0 with 11:33 to go here in the first period. They hold behind their own net and rip it up the near side. Viroqua, nice pass down low. Send it towards the center. They've got a skater there. Shot, a great save. Second shot, and it's held up in the pads. Freya Rising puts two nice ones on goal after a great cross-ice pass, and Gruner shuts the door again.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the game started, how many shots that the Icebergs allow, and we're starting to see kind of why. They need to do a better job of spreading out, and when they're busting out of their zone, keep it along the boards, not up the middle.
Faceoff is won by the Icebergs. They'll look to move it up that far side wall, send it that way, and they do clear it out. They've got a 2-on-1 developing here. The chip pass, and around the defense is Samantha Nelson. Nelson, shot! Oh, a great save is made in net, and a second attempt is no good off the stick of Izzy Newton. Abigail Severson makes a great save, and Newton has to give that one up into neutral ice. Now skating forward is, number 19, Aaron Olsen. Olsen's shot on the low angle is covered up again. Severson, who was victimized on one that really wasn't her fault a little bit earlier on, makes two really nice saves on this trip down the ice.
Yeah, and Olsen had all the speed in the world, but started running out of real estate and just could not do much there with a shot, so it's going to get clogged up in the pad real easy.
Aaron Olsen in the face-off dot against Kendall Eckern. Olsen wins that one for the Icebergs. They send it toward the middle quickly. Trying to get it to Olsen once more. It's trapped in the feet. Hang on, a backhand is off the foot. Second chance and a save. And she just got that blocker arm down. Severson with a sixth sense to get that right arm in position. What a stop.
We talk a lot about positional saves, and that was exactly what she did there, because that puck went through bodies and a lot of traffic. Otherwise, it's 2-0 without that good positioning.
Same face-off group here. This one stuck on the dot. Viroqua pinches at it. It ends up towards the net, and Severson wisely just gives the cover. No, it broke loose, and the Icebergs hold it. Send it up towards the point from the top of the circle, and that one goes just wide. A nice rifle in from Kelsey Waldner of the Icebergs. Viroqua trying to clear. It bumps into traffic, doesn't get out of the zone. Can't get this one out either, and now they've got a chance as they push forward. Trying to dig it out are the Icebergs. They drag it in. Shot goes right across the net mouth off the stick of Schipper, but does not make it in. Another stick gets lost on the ice as there's the big collision against the wall. That one's still on the blue line, but Viroqua holds. Stripped in center ice by Taylor Nicias. Nicias, though, gives it right away to the defense. It's Nanini who sends it across into the neutral zone for Harnish. Harnish skating nicely up the right wing edge as she enters the Iceberg zone. Puts a little physicality on. Both players go to the ice as they continue to battle for this one. Icebergs have it cleanly, though. Move it towards the center. No, give away. And it continues to rattle around to the blue line. 9:46 to play in this first period. The Icebergs are up 1-0. Thanks to the tally by number 15, Sydney Schipper, their captain. Send all the way into the corner of the Viroqua zone. They'll rifle it up that near side. Nothing doing as the Blackhawks take it away. Swatted back in by the Icebergs, but they collide with one another, and here come the Blackhawks with a 2-on-2. Coming up is Shonka. Works her way around, now coming to the opposite side of the net. Hangs onto that puck and works into the corner. Up to the point for Fry. Fry tries to get one in, lifts it a bit high, and sends it into the far corner. It'll be taken by Rachel Simonson. Using her point, it's Sylvie Shonka. Shonka sends one in, and they had Simonson, Aaron Simonson, on the back door, but it was bouncing, and she couldn't settle it down.
The defense there totally missed that. They've got to stay on their bodies and in their positioning on that ice.
Viroqua looks to poke this one down. Icebergs send it to the near side, and again, Viroqua able to get it beneath the goal line. Erin Simonson with that puck. Working on it, though, for the Icebergs is Haley Hayful, and she skates away with it. Her pass is knocked away, but that one's going to be no icing, as moving in for this are the Icebergs. Stripped away by Viroqua on defense, still controlling behind their own end line. They give it over to Rachel Simonson. She sends it off the wall, but a nice job at the point that time by Sofia Macero. Out of their own slot, nearly give it away, but Viroqua has it. Good little stick handle, and they'll carry this one clear of the zone. Moving forward is Sylvie Shonka. Shonka's around a couple of defenders, but loses the puck there as it's sent over to Schipper. Long pass from Schipper finds Aaron Olsen. Olsen can't get past the defense. A nice intervention by Lydia Fry of Viroqua. The Icebergs will just send it in as they're on a change. 8 minutes even to play in this first period. The Icebergs up 1-0. Shot does not get through traffic. It hits her own player, in fact. Trying to get out of the way was Taylor Nicias. Working forward now, Samantha Nelson. She gets pushed into the wall as that puck comes along the boards. Back beneath the goal line. Icebergs have it again. Look to distribute in front. Pass is deflected away and sent out into neutral ice. Pushed along by Kiernan Hovland, who's putting some pressure on. Good back check by Viroqua. They're able to enter. No, can't quite make the entry on side. They have to check up. And the Icebergs send it into neutral ice. 7:26 to play in this period. Good poke that time by Hovland. And Hovland rides that puck all the way into the zone. Up to the point. Carried this time by Deline. Deline's shot is saved by Gruner. Deline trying to backhand that one in. Can't do it. Second chance from Freya Rising. No good. The freshman tried to turn on it in the slot. Up to the point, and that one's out of the zone. They keep the Icebergs from running the other direction with it as they dump it in. And Viroqua and the Icebergs will get a change.
Yeah, and that's been one of the things that's been hurting them is the slow change. They're able to get it in the zone, but there's no support for the forward in there. They've got to be a little bit crisper on those line changes.
Battle right in front of the benches here, trying to move this one in for Viroqua is Kendall Eckern. Ends up with Rhiannon Deline. There's Eckern again. Eckern's past one defender, but swatted away very nicely by Rachel Lewis, who sends that one along the far side, held by Viroqua. Blackhawks putting pressure on. Now the Icebergs have it in their own zone again. Try to lift it past Eckern. They tap it past one defender, and now they've got a bit of a break moving here. Schipper on the attack, 3-on-2. She'll dump it and let her teammates follow as she goes back for a change. Alexa Short putting the pressure on in the Blackhawks zone, but Viroqua has it, and it's Eckern up the left wing side through the neutral zone. Tapped along, and a nice entry that time assisted by Kelsey Shaner. Shaner's shot is deflected low in the slot, and the Icebergs move it up the near wall. Held by Rhiannon Deline and sent back down for Viroqua with 5:53 to play in the first period. Icebergs look to turn it around. Nice little saucer pass, finds Samantha Nelson. She can't hold it though, and it's fired right back into the Iceberg zone. Now the Icebergs have a little bit of speed, and they are stripped in center ice. Simonson 1-on-2. Has the puck taken away, but following along with her is Gabby Olsen. The 5'2" freshman rides hard down beneath the goal line, fighting for that puck against the captain of the Icebergs. Viroqua with it. Distributes beneath the net. Simonson into the slot, and it's knocked away. 5:20 to play. A nice offensive setup by Viroqua there.
Yeah, the Blackhawks do a great job of supporting each other and all these rushes coming in, and that's allowing them to get some time in front of the net.
Backhand this one in low. It ends up in the crease, and the Icebergs are able to just clear it out, but Viroqua maintains possession. The Blackhawks fighting for it down deep in the Iceberg zone. Battle in the corner there. They skate away with it. Send to center, and not seeing it was Gabby Olsen. Now coming up the ice is Izzy Newton. Newton moves to the outside, cuts in, loses the stick, loses the puck, follows it along, back towards center. Good read of the pass. A quick shot on the strip, but it's no good. Trying to send it clear is number 19, Aaron Olsen. Olsen, the league leader, the team leader with goals. That one trickles towards goaltender Abigail Severson. She will cover it up. 4:33 to play, still 1-0 Icebergs, but it feels like the ice is tilting a little bit in Viroqua's favor.
Yeah, it really did look that way for a little bit. Again, it's the support issue that they are getting that the Icebergs have not been able to kind of go with yet.
Aaron Olsen in the dot, can't win the faceoff. Viroqua does control, but they're trapped on that near wall, and now the Icebergs have it. Swatted off the referee's skate. That one comes to Severson on a light shot, and she easily covers it up. The attempted clear there, you hate when that happens. It hit the base of the referee's skate, came right back to an Iceberg. She quickly put it on net. Severson makes a nice stop. Chuck-a-Duck available. If you're listening to my voice for some reason and you're here at the stadium, go ahead and buy Chuck-a-Duck, 6 for $5. And now we've got a chance for Viroqua on a busted pass. Freya Rising pursuing that puck. A nice job by the Icebergs. A little back check to get in there and hang on to it. They send it up the wall and they control. Aaron Olsen clears it. Great job defensively by the Icebergs on a broken play.
Yeah, and again, they've done such a good job of trying to get that covered and not allow them to come in undisturbed. But again, they need to get a little bit more support for each other when they're going through the neutral zone.
Cadence Deline, the freshman, one of the Deline twins, trying to get this one forward. Ends up in center ice. Little stick handling continues, and here comes Deline. Top of the far circle, works her way to the outside edge. Continuing to fight for that puck, but it is poked off her tape by the Icebergs. And they'll look to send it ahead. Viroqua hangs on, though, and here's Deline once more. Deline has it swatted off her tape. Up at the point, though, held by Viroqua, sent in nicely by Mocero. In the slot, big collision, and the puck does come free with 3:21 to play in this first period. It is still a 1-0 lead for the Icebergs, but Viroqua threatening here. They go cross ice, and they're trying to find Moira Ellefson. She was not able to get a hold of that puck, but the Blackhawks get a change and then send it far side. Both teams lost sight of that one. Sorry, Dan. And now Kelsey Shaner here. Shaner with a 2-on-1. Shaner, a shot to score! Kelsey Shaner comes in. She's got support from Andy Harnish, but she takes it herself, blocker side, and ties this game with 2:57 to go in the first.
Yeah, she had her partner coming right down the other side, so I think the goalie just cheated a little bit to the left, and then that shot went right against the grain and ties it up. That was just good work in transition. And what I was going to say before that happened was each team was having a difficulty in transition.
Kelsey Shaner buries that one. Assist from Angie Harnish and Sylvie Shonka. So both of these goals in the game are 2-assist goals, and we are tied up at 1 apiece with 2:49 to play here in the first period. In neutral ice, and now a chance again for Viroqua. Bringing this forward is Eckern. Knocked off her tape as the Icebergs look to clear it out. Can't get past the point defender. A nice job by Sylvie Shonka to hold that, but now they do clear it in some open space for Schipper. She had the earlier goal for the Icebergs. Tries to get around the defender, ridden to the outside, pass through center, and it bounces over the stick of Alexa Short. Second shot doesn't get through traffic, and now looking to speed ahead is Kelsey Shaner. She had the goal just a moment ago. Shaner takes a little stutter step, moves to the outside, drops for her partner on the point. They flick it back down to her, and now Shaner is going to come all the way out to get a change with 2:09 to play. Viroqua still holding at the point, and a big collision there between the Icebergs and the Blackhawks. Turning around nicely with this one, though, is Aaron Simonson. Simonson on a bad change has a chance. Face-off dot shot in the mask and held by Avon Gruner. Caught that off the wiring and then put the glove on it.
Yeah, Gruner had the angle on that shot coming in. I don't know why they took that shot from so far out. Sometimes you can notice if your goaltender's off their angle a little bit, but that didn't look like that to me. It looked like they just wanted to get that quick shot on goal.
We have a little bit of a question here.
I think I think that puck went off the mask, and maybe there's an issue there.
Yeah, just checking the equipment, it looks like, but I believe we're all good to go now. So with 1:54 to play, we'll have a face-off on the far side of the Iceberg zone after the freezing down. Nice job by Viroqua to step in by Simonson. Pushed up hard against the wall. Both of these teams scrappy, getting after those 50-50 pucks. A lot of physical action. Great hold with the skate blade that time by Nanini. The puck in neutral ice, and the referee nearly gets dumped by Nanini as she's got some speed on the back skate there. 1:30 to play here. Viroqua holding in their own zone. Send to the opposite side to try and move it clear. Gabby Olsen and Nanini there. Nanini delivers a big hit. And some of these contacts we're seeing, I think the referees are probably going to pull the whistles out sooner or later.
Yeah, that one, I think you could honestly make the call there, but it's definitely starting to increase a touch.
I'm surprised that wasn't icing. That looked like it came down from behind the red line, but we'll keep playing with 1:05 to go as the Icebergs get a change. Pick this one up in neutral ice and dump it in off the stick of Kelsey Waldner. Viroqua skates to pick it up behind their own net. Rhiannon Deline tries to go up near side. Instead, she can't get it through, and it's sent back in by Schipper to the far corner. Icebergs fight for it in the corner as the Blackhawks look to get it away. Comes to Schipper. She backhands it. It ends up behind the net just barely. Viroqua sends it near side. That time held by Sophia Macero. Macero gets it down towards Alexa Short. Schipper comes in at the outside hash marks and takes it into the corner. Short following along, backhands towards the center, but it deflects behind the net with 24 seconds to play in this period. We're all tied up at 1. Looking to skate it out are the Viroqua Blackhawks. Nanini loses control. It's Short with it with 15 seconds. Short into the middle. Schipper can't get the shot on. A lot of traffic there. She chases it into the corner, has it knocked off her tape. Viroqua sends and clears. A nice clear by Freya Rising, the freshman. 4 seconds to play, and that should end this period. There is the horn. An exciting first period out here at the Mann Community Center. In the end, both teams tally 1. We head in all square at 1.
It was a great period. Each team saw a lot of good offensive zone time, but I think unfortunately for that first period, what we saw were bad decisions and mistakes leading to goals. Each time we've noticed people either bunching up or they're not following that puck out on a hard forecheck. And that, I think, hurt each team at different parts during that first period.
Both teams had some mistakes. They have some things they can clean up, but both teams also took advantage of the other team's mistakes. And when you're playing an even game, when you feel like you're about equivalent in skill, sometimes that's the difference, is can you exploit it when your opponent makes a mistake. We saw that from both of these teams. We also saw some really excellent kind of gritty play, for lack of a better word, from both teams, fighting for these pucks in the corners, battling to keep the puck in the zone at the blue line. A lot of good kind of effort play for both of these squads.
Yeah, there's absolutely no question that these teams have a lot of heart. They have a lot of skill, and I don't think anybody's going to accuse anybody out there of kind of coasting, because everybody was out there, every shift, skating hard. You didn't see anybody phoning it in. But I think what they really want to do in this second period, now that they should have a good feel for each other, we've really got to pull back into more fundamental style where we're doing 2 or 3 pass breakouts. We're getting the ability to make sure somebody's in front of the net when we're behind the net, to try and move that puck up, and not carrying the puck in front of your own goaltender.
All right, let's talk about it for both teams then. For Viroqua, the visitors, will deal with them first. What do you want to see them make in terms of a change as they're talking in the locker room now, come out in the second period?
I think for them what they really have to do is more communication. It seemed like there were a lot of times where multiple people were going for the puck and there wasn't that conversation of I go or you go. I think communication is where it's going to start for Viroqua. They did a great job in the neutral zone, and once they got it in the offensive zone, they were able to really contain it, but they weren't able to get many second chance opportunities on shots.
And then for the Icebergs, same kind of thing. What's their coaching staff saying to them? What are they looking to do in the second period? Get a couple more goals, build a lead in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got to do their best to stay spread out. There was an awful lot of bunching, which created a number of issues both in the offensive zone and defensive zone. So for them, it's going to be spread out a little bit, little better communication, and again, don't blow your coverage.
All right, folks, at the first intermission, it's Icebergs 1, Viroqua 1. We're going to give you the stats report presented by Stoughton Hospital, and we will be back with the second period. You're watching WSTO TV's coverage of girls hockey here on WSTO TV.
Looking for employment? Ready to brag to your friends about bringing your skills to the next level? Step up to Stoughton Trailers. We offer a wide range of employment opportunities and great benefits in a job that starts where you want, when you want, and can change everything. No experience required. Apply now.
Take a step back to yesteryear. Friday nights from 5 until midnight, WSTO will be featuring classic movies, including such titles as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, His Girl Friday, and more. Friday night movies from 5 p.m. until midnight on WSTO TV and online at WSTO.TV.
Hospital, you're always more than just a patient. Let our award-winning staff show you the best possible care, starting with accepting all area insurances. Stoughton Hospital, trusted care close to home.
We're down to five ducks. Five ducks to make the other now while they're hot. Don't forget we have a year's worth of custard for first place, a year's worth of baskets from Caldwell for second place, and then 4 meals for third place. A pretty good deal for $1 for one duck.
Welcome back, everyone. Zach Seeloff and Dan Graychuk with you on WSTO TV's coverage of the Icebergs versus the Viroqua Blackhawks. Girls hockey here in the high school game. It is 1-1 after one period. And Dan, we saw a period with a lot of good play, a lot of what you said like heart play, effort play, but some mistakes on the ice that led to some of those scoring opportunities.
Yeah, and again, that's going to happen. There was an awful lot of good movement of the puck, but we did end up seeing a lot of instances where passes were getting broke up, pucks were bouncing in different spots, and that either turned into an offensive scoring chance on a breakout, or it led to a real good move through the neutral zone. They need to tighten that up again. They need to have a little bit more discipline on their positions, and again, try to communicate a little bit more.
How about Avon Gruner in net? I think coming into this game, you and I were both a little unsure of what to expect from her. We haven't gotten to see either of these teams this season. 0-3-0 record, 5.62 goals against, 84.5% save. Boy, that does not tell you the story, because what we saw from her in that first period was fantastic.
Yeah, and she had to make multiple different types of saves, not only positional, but moving side to side, gloves, finding that bouncy puck right in front, able to track it well. So she was forced to make a number of different types of saves and was equal to the task each time.
Aaron Olson will be in the face-off dot for the Icebergs to start things off. Kendall Eckern for the Viroqua Blackhawks. Referee checking with both goalies, and we will get ready for period number 2, tied at 1 here at the Mann Community Center. Viroqua tries to knock that one forward. They slap it into the Iceberg zone and give chase. Kelsey Shaner sends it towards the slot. Nearly get a chance. Shaner again on the backhand is a bit wide. And 11 seconds in, 2 quick chances for the Viroqua Blackhawks. Icebergs try and clear it out. They do just get it past the blue line. The Blackhawks send it in, but we'll have to check up on the delayed offsides. Haley Hafel trying to skate this one out. A nice little backhander and moves it all the way up and ahead to Aaron Olson. Olson, right wing edge. She's got a player with her. Sends it across into the middle, and it gets through traffic. Not able to get the stick on. Boy, and a hard self-hit delivered by Haley Hafel as she backed right into the net. The Icebergs do a nice job getting back into their own zone, but then a giveaway. Here's Eckern. Eckern of Viroqua has it stripped off her tape by Hafel, who got back into the play, and sends across for Aaron Olson. Out of Olson's reach, and Lydia Fry of Viroqua will try and turn that one around. A nice job to move it ahead to Gabby Olson. Backhanded in once more by the Icebergs, but Viroqua able to take it on the delayed offsides. Pass sent long, and the Icebergs have it again. Olson pushes it into the Blackhawk zone, but they gather it up in their own slot and tap it along for Olson. Olson moving up that right wing edge, now gives it ahead to Swinson. Taken away though, that was Simonson that had it taken away. And Hovland of the Icebergs has it stripped off her tape, this time by Rachel Simonson. Rachel finds her sister Erin in the middle of the ice. They try and follow along, but the Icebergs now have it. Waldner moving it ahead, and it's dumped into the zone that time by Hannah Weber. Weber, the sole Monona Grove player on this team. A 6-team co-op forms the Icebergs. They send it in the center, but nice read on the pass by Sylvie Shanka, who knocks it away. Another centering attempt, and that time a stick lift keeps it away. Now the Icebergs top of the circle, blocked by a skate. That shot coming off the stick of Kelsey Waldner, captain, not able to get it in. Mocero over to Waldner, top of the circle. Again, can't get a clean shot on. Good defense by Viroqua, but good zone time, as this one's covered up by Severson. Good zone time for the Icebergs.
Yeah, Severson just wanted to get that puck covered because she had real tired legs out there, and that was the best that the Icebergs have done in good pressure and maintaining the zone, moving the puck, trying to get some good looks, and they did a real good job there.
Face-off won by the Icebergs. Puck pinches up into the air and is loose in the Viroqua zone, trying backhand it into the slot, but the defense is there. A nice job by Samantha Nelson, by Cadence Deline, and Deline is going to skate this one coast to coast. Icebergs can't clear it. Viroqua sends it back down further in. Hafel with it for the Icebergs. Reverses course behind her own net, sends it along, but at the point, Viroqua holds again. In the slot, this one will be skated out by Rachel Lewis. A nice little tap ahead, and she finds Nicias. Taylor Nicias leaps around, a stick gets in, and the hand is up. We'll have a tripping call coming up against Viroqua if they can get the puck. Icebergs hang on. Schipple, a shot, and a save by Severson, and that will bring the penalty on. Schipper puts a nice shot in, but the tripping call will go against the Viroqua Blackhawks. Guilty of that infraction. I haven't yet seen who they've sent to the penalty bench. And it looks like it's going to be number 7, Lou Nanini.
7 black, minor trip.
So Nanini is whistled for the first penalty of this game. With 14:17 to go in the second period, it'll be a power play for the Icebergs.
It'll be good to see how their power play unit does and see if they can generate some multiple attempts here on the same shift.
Move it over to Shipper, up towards the point. That time for Waldner. Back down to Sydney Shipper, around the corner, and trying to get after this one is Mocero of the Icebergs. Comes together with the Viroqua defense. Viroqua gets the clearing attempt. A nice swing by Viroqua to send that one all the way out. It was Sylvie Shonka that got it clear. Viroqua keeps all 4 of the same skaters on the ice. They try and get it through. Viroqua putting some pressure on in neutral ice. They loft one back into the Iceberg zone and now putting some more pressure on. Viroqua looking to generate a shorthanded chance as they pitchfork that one back into the Iceberg zone. Coming forward is Newton. She hasn't knocked off her tape but holds up and able to make an onside entry is Olsen. Shipper picks up the lost puck, sends it toward the net, and it will be gathered easily by Severson.
You know, that's the second time Shipper had the chance to hold that shot just a little bit longer and wait till there was some traffic in front of Severson. So I think they've got to be looking for that. They need to make sure she's unable to see that puck coming in or have people around to get a rebound or a deflection.
You and I were saying during the break that the parents clearly get to choose the music here as Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone blasts through the arena. 13:20 to play in the period, minute even on the power play as the Icebergs control and send that one across to Waldner. Waldner has her shot blocked, but picking it up is Nicias. Nicias has it stripped away and a great clear that time by Kelsey Shaner of the Viroqua Blackhawks. 13 minutes even to play in the period, 44 seconds on the power play. We're tied at 1 here at the Matt Community Center as the Icebergs look to set things up and move it ahead. Sophia Mocero hustled hard, but she gets in on the right wing side, sticks with that puck, now finally poked away. Icebergs step in and they take this one forward. It's Samantha Nelson. Nelson behind the net has it knocked briefly off her tape, but regathers. 23 seconds on the power play, sends it up. A shot from the center point goes wide. Nelson pursues. Aggressive defense from Viroqua, but this one's going to find its way to Weber. She drops off to the point for Rachel Lewis. Lewis's shot deflected behind the net. 10 seconds left on the power play. Viroqua trying to get a chance at this one. Rachel Simonson sends to the point and sends out with 3 seconds on the power play. That will kill it. Both teams are now full strength with 12:15 to play in the period. A big collision there, and again, a lot of physical play in this game. The referees so far have let most of these things go.
Yeah, they really have, and nothing really has been too horrible, but you never want things to get a little out of hand.
11:58 to play in the second period as we're tied up. Shipper chases that loose puck down and sends it beneath the net. Holding there is Olsen. Into the middle, a chip shot is deflected away as the redirect could not get on net for the Icebergs. Nice hold by Hafel, who sends it back into the Viroqua zone. Blackhawks unable to clear as Olsen keeps it in. Nice little toe drag around, but Viroqua looks to break it through, and they do knock it clear. Good effort that time by Deline, Cadence Deline, one of the 2 Deline twins. Viroqua sends it in. They'll get a change with 11:25 to play here in the second period and pursue behind the Icebergs net. Icebergs, a nice little outlet pass through their own zone. Flick it ahead and move it to Mocero. Cross ice, and they find Sydney Shipper. She's got the 1 goal for the Icebergs so far today. Her backhanded pass is deflected, but sliding in is Aaron Olsen. Now Viroqua comes up with it off the wall, nearly losing it in the slot, and Shipper blocks the clearing attempt. She's got it in the corner for the Icebergs. Stops up, backhand in the middle, backhanded shot is deflected and sticked away by Severson. Alert play from the goaltender, gets her stick involved.
Yeah, and that was the best breakout we've seen in this game, really, where the Icebergs were able to move that puck really clean out of their zone, a couple quick passes in the neutral zone, and then get that puck down deep and try and generate a couple shots. If they can do that a couple more times, I think you'll see they'll be a lot more comfortable when they're moving it in. Otherwise, it just seems kind of find an open spot and move the puck. That was a solid entry.
An icing call against Viroqua brings it back into their zone. Face off, won by the Icebergs, and they move it to the point. Swing over the top on the shot. Eckern can't quite get it, though, and the Icebergs are able to hold it in the Viroqua zone. Nicias sends through the middle, but nobody able to get that stick on. Mocero has it stripped away, and Viroqua's got a little speed here as they move this one up. Angie Harnish, left wing edge. Harnish's shot is deflected, stays in the arena, though, just hits off the top of the glass. Cross ice from the Icebergs, a nice job to get it out of the zone. Good physical play, though, that time from Rhiannon Deline, keeping Samantha Nelson of the Icebergs from getting it, and now Eckern's got it for Viroqua. Stripped off her tape, but sent all the way along towards Harnish. Harnish toward the point, and getting involved as well as Nanini, who had that 2-minute tripping penalty a few minutes ago. 9:58 to play in the second period, and icing is going to go against the Icebergs here. We'll head back to their zone for a face-off.
Yeah, it looks like some bad habits are starting to show up here, because we saw the same kind of thing right along the boards here. Everybody's bunching up, and when you bunch up like that, you make it very difficult to use that whole sheet of ice. They're a much more difficult team to contain if you're playing the entire rink.
Simonson against Olsen in the face-off dot. Simonson wins it for Viroqua. Shot from the point is wide, off the stick of Shonka. Icebergs backhand to the point, and they do get it clear. Shonka will chase it down at her own blue line. Turning around with 9:43 to go. Nice stick handle by Shonka to get that one loose, and finds the backhanded tape of Aaron Simonson. Simonson entering with Olsen. Simonson, high slot, cross ice, shot, and a score! What a snipe by Rachel Simonson. Aaron to Rachel, the sister-to-sister connection makes it 2-1 Viroqua.
You know, that was probably one of the prettiest goals I've seen all year, anywhere we've been. That was good work moving through the neutral zone. 2 to 3 solid passes. Coming into the offensive zone and then moving that puck really, really well to that left circle. Picks that corner up the glove side. Made it look easy, and that was an impressive play.
Excellent work. Rachel Simonson gets the goal. Aaron Simonson and Sylvie Shonka, get the assists, and it is 2-1 Viroqua as the visitors strike once more. Well, they actually give the assist to number 9, but I think it was number 19. We'll double check on that one. Either way, with 9:12 to play, the Blackhawks are up 2-1 as the puck rolls up on end into their zone and is gathered up by Lydia Fry. Fry does a nice job to find Olsen and chips it into center ice. A slapper from Izzy Newton catches Olsen in the shin pad, and her teammates gather it up for her. It is Sylvie Shonka that's got it. Her long home run pass, no ice, as it's played by the goaltender, Aven Gruner, trying to turn it around. Backhand off the stick is no good from Nanini, and so there will be no icing here. Aggressive play to get into the corner, though, and a nice effort that time by Lydia Fry. Fry's had 2 good back checks on this series so far. Turning it around in the corner are the Icebergs. Mocero across to Waldner. Dumps it down into the corner. Gabby Olsen there, backhands it up, but Waldner there. Her shot is nearly deflected in, but it moves the opposite direction off Nelson's stick. Mocero sends it back down. The Icebergs set up on offense. Look to dig it out. It's Nicias behind the net. Send into the center. Nothing there. Drag to the point. Held by Waldner. Down towards Nicias again. Works its way to Nelson. Nelson's shot goes behind the net with 8:05 to play in the second. Good little poke from Viroqua. They'll look to clear this one out. They'll send it for icing just to get a change, if nothing else. With 7:58, we'll head back to their zone for a faceoff.
Yeah, Viroqua was getting real tired out there, and the Icebergs did a good job of keeping those points active and keeping the puck going down deep. They just weren't able to get anything to the slot or a high percentage area. But they need to keep building on that to try and erase this 1-goal deficit, and that's the way they're going to have to do it. Good cycling in the offensive zone.
7:58 to play in the second period. Viroqua up 2-1. That shot off the faceoff comes right towards the net, but misses a little wide on the long side. Viroqua trying to clear it. That puck, I think, ended up in the hand of Izzy Newton. She drops it immediately back down to the ice. Oh boy, and she takes one of the Viroqua players down to the turf. Everyone's going to play on. Cadence Deline tries to move it forward. The loose puck, though, is finally cleared out by Viroqua with 7:33 to play. Icebergs send it right back in, and they will pursue. Behind the net. Nanini picks it up, sends it down, but it's taken by the Icebergs. The shot is blocked nicely by Deline. Forces the Icebergs to come out of the zone on the delayed offsides with 7:15 to play. Lou Nanini tries to find Freya Rising. It's out of her reach. Hand is up, and icing is the call. We'll take it back to the Blackhawks zone.
Yeah, again, another good shift where the Icebergs were keeping it down low. They were keeping it in their half of the neutral zone and the offensive zone. They just are still struggling a little bit to get that second and third opportunity. the longer they're able to get that puck down, they're going to be looking at more shots.
7:08 to play. The Icebergs hold off the faceoff. Shot is blocked and ends up behind the net. Nice control for the Icebergs by Nicias. Send a cross ice pass. It works behind the net and all the way to the opposite point. That time for Hafel. Hafel rips one down, and again behind the net. Striding there for it is Hannah Weber. She sends into center, but it's out of reach of her compatriots and comes all the way back into the Iceberg zone. Picking this one up is Hafel. She strides through a couple defenders, moves her way on, and she picks up some speed as she enters the zone here. Hafel, high slot and offsides. A nice save is made by Severson either way. Boy, Hafel had some speed coming. Her teammate just couldn't quite match her.
Yeah, and again, a lot of speed coming through. Some real nice moves breaking out of her end, but then just a little bit offside. And I guess I'm kind of surprised she took that shot right across the blue line. She had a lot of room to move in. But again, they're keeping it down on this side of the ice, and that's what they need to keep doing.
Playing very well so far. Face-off again won by the Icebergs. They chip it into the Viroqua zone. The Blackhawks have it there. Up towards the point. Nice job by the Icebergs. Still fighting for this one. Erin Olsen towards the center. Stopped up that time by Shanka of the Blackhawks. Shanka does a nice job to move around one defender, move around a second. Her pass, though, broken up at the point and taken by Schipper. Another big collision up near the blue line. And Viroqua has the puck there. Schipper riding her intended target as she tries to backhand this one down again. 6 minutes even to play. It's 2-1 Viroqua. Dangerous move through the slot, but they're able to get away with it. And coming forward is Erin Simonson. She's stripped. Schipper at the point, settles it down and tries to set things up. Moves it beneath the net for Newton. Sends it across. Back to Newton. Newton's got Schipper in the center if she can get her the puck, but nothing doing. Gabby Olsen for Viroqua striding. But it'll be taken by Erin Olsen instead and then chipped out with 5:37 to go in the second period. Good hold by the Icebergs as they turn the corner. Send it across and find Erin Olsen. Olsen's got a 2-on-2 here. Olsen towards the center, and that pass is deflected and knocked away. Viroqua able to clear it. Now striding hard is Gabby Olsen, but it's poked in by the Icebergs. Blackhawks go for the outlet pass. Nice job to shield that one in by Erin Simonson. Simonson to the hash marks, passes across to Rachel. Rachel Simonson back into the middle. Almost there was Rising, but the puck bounced over her tape. Coming the other way, Kelsey Waldner. Waldner has it knocked away. She's going to be offsides if she touches it. Did not realize on the entry, and we will have another neutral ice faceoff.
Yeah, that was way offside, and we haven't seen too many mental mistakes like that so far in this game. But again, we're seeing the Icebergs do a great job of really keeping everything down on this end. It goes into their zone, they find ways to break it out.
4:58 to play in the second period. The Icebergs do win yet another faceoff. They'll fire that one in to the Viroqua zone. The Blackhawks are up 2-1, but they are facing a lot of intense Iceberg pressure here. And once again, the Icebergs able to knock it back behind the Viroqua net. Rising tries to turn it around, but it's held in the zone that time by Taylor Nicias. Striding after it are the Icebergs. Nice little cross ice towards Cadence Delling. That one tapped in offsides. Icebergs check up as Viroqua gathers the loose puck. Up towards the point and out of the reach of Moira Ellefson. 4:21 to play, and the Icebergs send it into neutral ice. Samantha Nelson, left wing edge, puts it down beneath the net. Striding after that one is Hannah Weber. Viroqua pokes it ahead, stripped and shot, and missed a little bit wide off the stick of Haley Hafel. Tapped once more, but Viroqua holds and moves forward. Here comes Cadence Delling. Delling up the left wing side, sticks with this puck, drags it, knocked down from behind. Striding for it there, and a nice hold that time by number 8, Moira Ellefson. Comes into center ice. Nanini there. Her pass is a little bit strong and taken away by Rachel Lewis. Picked up in the neutral zone. Lot of confused play here right in center ice. It finally does work its way to the Viroqua zone. They hold it. And a nice little move by Nanini. She enters the zone at the top of the left wing circle. Knocked off the puck, sticks with it, blocks a attempted slapper clear, and now Nanini's got it in the corner looking to distribute. Moving it up that far side wall. Held by Eckert. Sent back down low, and pursuing it is Angie Harnish. Pushed up against the wall with 3:14 to play in the second period. Harnish and the Blackhawks lead 2-1 here against the Icebergs. Now Eckern looking to wrap it around. Eckern in through the net mouth. It's loose. Striding up, swinging, shooting, deflecting away, and a final save made off the stick of Shonka, saved by Gruner of the Icebergs. Icebergs now do have it. Up near the point, though, can't hold it. Attempting to clear once more, held at the point once again, that time by Rhiannon Deline. Now they do finally send it out of the zone. This will be a delayed offsides as Viroqua checks up with 2:41 to play. Challenge in the center, and they steal the puck away once more. At the point, a nice hold that time by Aaron Olson, playing it with the skate. Trying to pick this one up are the Viroqua Blackhawks. Olson pursuing every step of the way. Aggressive physical play, but Viroqua still holds. A stick lift, though, and they've got it away. A shot and a save, and a very wise cover by Severson. Bit of a late entry by Aaron Olson into that play, but everybody looks okay. With 2:17 to go, we'll have a face-off in the Viroqua zone.
That was really the best sequence we've seen from Viroqua. Really did a good job of holding that down in that zone. And they just need to keep doing that kind of thing. The Icebergs reacted really, really well and kind of went from there.
All right, here comes Viroqua off the face-off, 2:15 to play, and a nice entry move that time by Aaron Simonson. Chips the puck along, and following it is Gabby Olson. Knocked towards the point. It'll be held by Shonka. Back down towards Aaron Simonson, but skated away by Waldner of the Icebergs. And the captain moving things up on the far edge. Poked off her tape, a nice turnaround by Viroqua. They'll follow it for Gabby Olson. Olson pursuing behind the net, trying to put some pressure on. Icebergs lifted along towards the point and do get the clear as they'll hustle after this one. Lydia Fry able to backhand it clear. Viroqua nearly gives it away, but a nice one-handed push. And here comes Viroqua. Rachel Simonson towards the slot. Simonson has her stick lifted off that one, but they stay after the puck and keep it in the Iceberg zone with 1:30 to go in the second period. Viroqua up 2-1 here at the Mant Community Center as the Icebergs look to send it out. At the center line, Viroqua dumps it right back in. They'll get a change as they pursue it behind the Iceberg net. Kelsey Waldner has it there. Her pass stopped up nicely and moved forward, and a 2-on-2 here for the Icebergs. Good defensive intervention by Nanini of Viroqua, and now Viroqua's got a 3-on-3 of their own. Turning the other way, it's Samantha Nelson. She is pushed to the ground hard, stepping up from the defensive position, and now a possible break here. They'd elect to pull that one back as the Icebergs move through the neutral zone. Icebergs on the near side nearly had too many skaters there, almost got caught up on it. Fired back towards the Icebergs goal with 43 seconds to play in the second period. Up towards the point, it's out of the reach of Ellefson. Fired in, and that one actually hits Ellefson as they try to enter. Now they do backhand it along with 33 seconds to go.
They're hoping they can find a real good outlet here in the last couple seconds to try and get something going down. And if the Icebergs can find a way to get a little bit more time in the other zone and tie it up before the end of the period.
Icebergs tried to clear that one out. They did, and Viroqua will have to check it up to get back on sides. Send that one off the glass and move it all the way into the Viroqua zone with 10 seconds to play. Cross ice pass, turn around. Keep this one going. 5 seconds to play. Nearly dragging around is Deline, but that will end this period. There is the horn. And so with 34 minutes of hockey in the books, it's Viroqua 2, Icebergs 1 after a period that saw both teams get a lot of offensive zone time.
Yeah, and I really think the Icebergs did a much better job in that period of really dominating, controlling of the puck in the offensive zone. Not as many mistakes in that period from either team. It really tightened up, and that's why I think we saw the one goal we did. But outside of that, real good work in moving that puck around, good passing. They just weren't able to get those second and third chance opportunities.
We'll bring you the Stoughton Hospital and Stoughton Trailer stat report here in just a second, but Viroqua does get the goal. That goal coming from the Simonson sisters. Rachel Simonson getting the assist from Aaron Simonson, and Sylvie Shonka getting the second assist. And as you said at the time, that was a pretty goal. Simonson streaking up this left wing side, gets a killer pass from her sister going across the middle of the ice. Just a great goal.
Well, and it really started to develop in the defensive zone with a real good defensive play along the board. They seal lane, they had some speed, were able to move that puck that way. So it was really pretty from beginning to end, and I think that puck touched everybody's stick coming across, and you can't ask for anything better than that.
Absolutely. All right, folks, the home team Icebergs are down 2-1, but there's 17 minutes of hockey left. Stay tuned to WSTO TV's coverage of girls high school hockey right here.
Mother Duck Sally says we can chuck your ducks, so on the count of 3, 1, 5. 3, 2, 1, let them fly.
Looking for employment? Ready to brag to your friends about bringing your skills to the next level? Step up to Stoughton Trailers. We offer a wide range of employment opportunities and great benefits in a job that starts where you want, when you want, and can change everything. No experience required. Apply now.
Take a step back to yesteryear. Friday nights from 5 until midnight, WSTO will be featuring classic movies, including such titles as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, His Girl Friday, and more. Friday night movies from 5 p.m. until midnight on WSTO TV and online at WSTO.TV.
At Stoughton Hospital, you're always more than just a patient. Let our award-winning staff show you the best possible care, starting with accepting all area insurances. Stoughton Hospital, trusted care close to home.
Welcome back, everyone. Zach Seeloff and Dan Graychuk with you on WSTO TV. The Icebergs trail 2-1 to the visiting Viroqua Blackhawks after 2 periods. The third period's coming up, and Dan, it was just a very pretty goal that got it to the back of the net for Viroqua. The Icebergs, though, had plenty of time in Viroqua's zone and just couldn't quite get it to the back of the net. What do they have to do to get an equalizer, get the go-ahead goal?
Well, they did a great job again of really maintaining control in the offensive zone. Where they were having the hard time was trying to get that second chance opportunity, the third chance opportunity, looking for those rebounds down in front, and that just didn't happen an awful lot. So they need to keep doing what they've been doing, just looking to get more traffic in front and get those shots.
And then Viroqua has, the 2-1 lead to try and defend. What are they going to do to hold back the Icebergs, who I think it's probably fair to say have a couple more skaters than Viroqua, who can really do the job in a hockey sense?
Yeah, and they did a great job of limiting the amount of opportunities, but they, again, in this period, what it really is going to come down to is making just a handful of better decisions to move that puck.
So as we come forward here, just about 30 seconds left on the intermission. This has been a pretty well-played game. We're definitely seeing teams that have players that are still learning the game, players that are still getting their feet under them, but we're seeing players that have a lot of talent, a lot of skill. When you're deciding something, let's say a power play opportunity comes up, what are you thinking as a coach when you look at these here? Do you feel like you have 5 players you want to put out there and just leave for 2 minutes? Do you want to stay with your normal cycle?
I don't think you really want to change too much of anything at this point, because again, you're dealing with a 1-goal deficit, or you're being ahead by a single goal. There's no need to really change too much. The Icebergs just need to find a way to get some better scoring opportunities while they are able to contain that puck in the offensive zone. And then on the other side, the Blackhawks need to find ways of getting a cleaner breakout from their defensive zone to try and get that third goal. Because I don't think a 2-1 lead is going to be enough to win this game. It doesn't have that feel. Goaltending's been solid. They just need to find better ways of getting the puck out of their end and generate some offense.
It does seem like a lot of times what they're trying to do is chip it along the boards. They're a little hesitant to try and skate with it, and that surprises me because when I've seen them move with it, I've seen a lot of pretty fancy moves from some of these Blackhawk players, but when they're deep in their own zone, it feels like they don't quite have the confidence to take that extra stride.
Yeah, and confidence is something that you and I talk about an awful lot. Once you have that confidence in your goaltender, you have that confidence in your teammates or your line mates or your coach, you're willing to do things that don't feel necessarily at that moment to be what's right, but because you're part of that system with that confidence. And right now the Icebergs are in that position where they can go ahead and build on everything they did there. They just need to get a goal to do it.
Icebergs, Blackhawks, it's 2-1 in favor of the visiting Blackhawks, and we've got 17 minutes to see if they can defend that lead, or if the Icebergs can get back into this one, get another couple goals, get on top. They do win the initial faceoff, and the Icebergs moving nicely up the ice on the near side, drag it right into the low slot, a shot and a save.
Yeah.
And what a stop, and it didn't look like Abby Severson really knew if she had gotten that one, but she did stop it down.
I was going to say something earlier in the first period. Watching them during warm-ups, Severson had a hard time tracking that puck in her gear, and that's exactly what happened there.
Face-off, and a quick shot from Schipper goes just wide. Schipper trying to get another goal. She had the first tally for the Icebergs early in the first period. She turns this one around, and now the Icebergs have a nice move the other way with Erin Olsen, their leading scorer. Good job to stop it up and turn it around by Lydia Fry. She's hassled in the middle. A one-handed slap does knock it out of the zone. Kelsey Shaner of Viroqua able to get it clear into neutral ice. Tap back in briefly, back towards Shaner and just out of her reach. They tried to hit her on the backhand and couldn't do it with 16-18 to play in this third and final period. They go all the way across. Viroqua can't stand it up at the blue line. Cross ice intended for Erin Olsen is out of her reach, but she's able to skate with it, take it behind the goal line. Sent in, a backhand attempt is blocked up. Good defense by Viroqua to keep Izzy Newton from getting the shot, and now Viroqua's got some speed. It's Lydia Fry. Knocked off her tape, held at the point briefly, but the Icebergs are able to clear it out the other way. That looked like a good entry, but good D from the Icebergs.
It's right where they left off in that second period of the Icebergs really controlling the movement of the puck. They get it back down into the other end and are generating their opportunities. And so far, Severson's had to make a couple really quick saves. Viroqua was just not finding a good rhythm or comfort in moving through the neutral zone. Maybe they need to start looking at doing some dump and chase as opposed to trying to carry it across the blue line.
After the icing, the face-off in the Viroqua zone, the Blackhawks do control it, and a nice turnaround move, that time by Nannini, moves it into neutral ice. Nannini sends it forward. It'll be held there by Hayfel of the Icebergs and moved across. Nannini picks off another pass, sends it in towards center, and now Nannini's got it with speed. Right wing side, top of the circle. Nannini rides it into the corner, continues to follow along. Gabby Olsen calling for that puck as Nannini goes to the ice. At the point, it's held briefly by Viroqua. Coming back towards the point now as the Icebergs control it. In the center, a good swat in, and Viroqua going to follow this one up. And not going down for it was Gruner, and Viroqua able to hold. Drop it in, slot from Simonson, and a good save. Aaron Simonson put that one on net. Gruner, I think, a little slow to react to that first dribbler. It gives Viroqua another chance.
Yeah, Gruner was not out. It was really deep into the net. Really needed to be towards the top of that crease. Was really lucky that that shot came in direct, almost right at the logo on her jersey. Need to be a little bit more aggressive there.
Even 15 minutes to play. The Icebergs do control this face-off in their own zone as they move it up on the far side of the wall. Cross ice towards Shipper. She can't hold it, but following right behind her is Aaron Olsen. Olsen's got a 3-on-3. Olsen takes this one all the way back behind the net, whips it in front, and what a clean pickup by Abigail Severson. Makes it look easy and helps her team out here. 14:41 to play.
What made that rush really good is you had a forward who was crashing the net. And again, that gives you some options. It really feels like the Icebergs are really starting to get buzzing.
Icebergs take a shot from the point. It's saved, and a backhand through the slot. Nobody there, thankfully, but now the Icebergs do have it in the slot again. That shot poke checked away by Severson, the goalie for Viroqua. This one up high, and it's held down. At the point, they're able to hold it once more, chip it back along, and move it to Izzy Newton. Now Shipper beneath the net. Shipper hangs on to this one as she rides it one-handed. Sends into the slot, a pad save, a second save. Severson able to get down, the wraparound no good. Shipper lefts it. No goal. We have no goal signal, and it got off an elbow, was blocked, and it hits the inside of the post. No good. It bangs around, hits the inside of the post. The referee right there and makes the right call. Knocked out of the slot, but held by Mocero. Her shot is deflected off a skate. Shipper's got a chance, and that one deflects high, but stays on the ice. Bouncing puck goes over the stick of Rising. Held this time and turned around by Newton. No good. Shipper a shot. No good. Second chance. No good. Puck still loose and now covered by Severson. The Icebergs all over the Blackhawks, but Abigail Severson gets a handy bounce from a pipe and otherwise makes some great stops.
Yeah, I'd have to say that the equipment, defense, and a pipe saved her for a lot there, but she was also doing good at making sure she was able to get in front and track that puck. Real good pressure.
Icebergs can't hold this one. They chop it back into the zone, but they'll check up on the delayed offsides. Viroqua tapping that one forward, fighting along the near side boards. Into the center for Eckern. Out of her reach, though, and moved ahead to Taylor Nicias. Nicias fires it, and she'll give chase, as striding for it is Nannini. Lou Nannini behind her own net. Reverse course, hassled by two players, but able to get it to Shaner. 13-11 to play in this third and final period. Viroqua up 2-1. An errant pass is gobbled up by Samantha Nelson of the Icebergs and sent back into the Blackhawk zone. Behind the net, little collision back there. Four players battling for this puck as it gets loose. Sent up towards the point. Icebergs with a little space. Nice job to hold that zone by Hayfel. Chops it down, but Viroqua has it. It's Nannini. Nannini accelerates but loses her footing. And that puck knocked back into neutral ice with 12:43 to play in the third period. Swiped across into the center, held there by the Icebergs and moved ahead. Chipped in by Samantha Nelson. Quickly, Viroqua sends it back into the neutral zone. Nelson regathers for the Icebergs, sends it towards the net, bounces behind, and it'll be gathered by Nannini in her own zone. Her pass goes through quite a few Iceberg defenders, and now Viroqua will put a little pressure on with 12:20 to play as they stride into the corner. Able to backhand this one and hold it in. Gabby Olson, the freshman, getting behind the referee. Sends it in. Drag shot from the slot is knocked away. And the Icebergs have a chance if they can move this one in transition. Aaron Olson ahead to Schipper. Drop back for Olson. Top of the circle. Shot blocked. Schipper, second chance. In towards the middle and nicely covered by Severson. A dangerous puck bouncing in the crease. Severson gets right on top.
Yeah, I think they wanted to put a little bit more on that pass going into the middle, and it kind of dribbled in from some good defensive play. But the Icebergs just keep coming and coming and coming, and when that happens, they're going to find a way to light the lamp.
11:57 to play in this game. Viroqua clinging to their 2-1 lead, trying to dig this one out of their zone after the faceoff. Slot pass and deflected very nicely. Good defense by Sylvie Shonka of the Blackhawks to clear it out. Off the glass, and they move it ahead to Aaron Olson. Olson from the faceoff down, a shot and a save by Severson. Got it through the defensive legs of Lydia Fry, but Severson right there to make the stop.
Every period, the Icebergs have gotten better. In the first period, we saw a lot more mistakes. Second period, they really tightened it up, and in this period, they have been ridiculously tight. They have been fighting for every puck, and the ice seems tilted that way.
11:38, a quick shot and a great pad save. That shot coming from the captain, Kelsey Waldner. What a pad save by Severson on a shot against the grain. Now loose puck in the Viroqua zone, and it's gathered by Sylvie Shonka. Shonka turns around, sends it up the near side boards. Held and fired back in by Mocero. Coming towards the net, and Severson can't grab it. They send it. There's Mocero. Top of the circle. Shot deflected by the skate of Lydia Fry. Good defense from Viroqua there. Move that one forward towards Deline, and she's able to knock it clear of the zone briefly. Rachel Lewis sends a pass in, but it's turned around to Samantha Nelson. Works its way along the ice. Hannah Weber for the Icebergs. High slot shot and a blocker save. Severson getting that blocker active now. Blocks it down. Clearing attempt held in by the Icebergs. Bodied down by Samantha Nelson. Nelson battling in there. Taken down from behind is Deline, but she sticks with the puck and moves it forward. Aggressive charge into the slot that time by Hafel. Sends a shot towards the net, but no good. Hafel again, and she'll rim it to the far side with 10:39 to play in this period as the Icebergs get a full change. Icebergs trying to steal this puck away from Shonka. Behind her own net, Shonka sends it the opposite direction for Shaner. Shaner's got a little open space as she moves with this puck. Cross ice pass off the skate and chipped back in by Izzy Newton. Newton pass to Olson, whose shot is saved. Olson can't get on that puck. Nice defense from Viroqua, held though by Hafel. Hafel's shot, and it's nearly deflected in by Newton, but goes just wide on the near side post. 10:10 to play in the period. It's been all Icebergs here in the third. Steal of the pass, a shot, and another blocker save. Severson out of her mind here in the third, keeping her team on top 2-1.
Without question, the goaltending right now is really the reason they're up 2-1.
A busted play in the middle, another blocker save. On her feet, a shot, and covered up by Severson. The Icebergs are everywhere, taking shots from every angle, and Abigail Severson is all over it.
Yeah, there were so many amazing saves in that sequence, and it looks like they're taking a timeout.
Timeout for the Viroqua Blackhawks with 9:49 to play in this third period, and I cannot blame this coaching staff, led by Paul Severson, wanting to take a little break and try and get his girls back into the rhythm, tell them we know we can play with this team, we're on top. It doesn't feel like it in this period, but we are winning this game. We just have to settle down a little bit, get back into our system.
Yeah, you don't want your team to try and just play protect. You don't want to try and protect a one-goal lead. You want to try to add to it. And the other side of it is for the Icebergs, they can't get discouraged because you can almost feel a little snake bit when everything you're throwing doesn't go in. But you don't want to get discouraged. You just keep going, keep building. They're getting those second and third opportunities, and that's what's going to make the difference.
There's a sense you have if you watch hockey long enough, you start to get a feel that a goal is coming. And just before this last stoppage that led to the timeout, boy, it felt like the Icebergs were going to score. When Schipper got that puck, I know she was on the ice. She was laying on the ice, but it came right to her, and it looked like she was going to swat it in. Somehow Severson kept it in front of her. That was an amazing sequence.
Yeah, good composure from your goaltender when you're getting just blasted again and again and again. to be able to keep your focus and follow that puck and not kind of get nervous is a great skill for your goaltender.
Out of the timeout, Viroqua able to win the faceoff, but it's taken away by the Icebergs. They control and send to the point. Shot at the point is nicely blocked. Second shot, top of the circle, and it makes it in. Kelsey Waldner, top of the far circle, gets it on glove side and ties this game at 2.
You know, you feel bad for Severson in net simply because she has played so well in the part of the third period. That a shot like that kind of coming from outside, you feel bad, but at the same time, the Icebergs just kept getting better and better and better, and that's a goal that was really earned throughout half that last period and half of this period.
The captain, Kelsey Waldner, getting her first goal of this season, her 4th goal of her Icebergs career. The assist going to Hannah Weber, her first of the season, and Taylor Nishis, her 4th of the season. With 9:26 to play, we are all square at 2. Puck behind the net, sent along towards the far side. Viroqua trying to clear again. Waldner holds at the point, sends it back down towards the slot. Loose puck in front, and Severson will wisely cover things up. And the Icebergs, I don't know if they ate their Wheaties at that second intermission or what, but it is like a different team out here. They are pouring it on to the Blackhawks.
I think it's confidence. It seems to be confidence, and they're not letting back. Since the face-off after their goal, they have still been pushing, and that's what they have to do. They have to keep their feet on the gas.
9:13 to play. The face-off won by the Icebergs, and they control behind the net. It's Aaron Olson. Sends it up towards the point. It'll be Schipper that moves it all the way along to Hafel. Sent back down by Viroqua and chipped out into the neutral zone. Hafel there. She'll dump it back into the Blackhawks zone. Blackhawks with a chance to bring this one forward on the delayed offsides. At center ice, it's briefly taken away by the Blackhawks, but a giveaway turns it to Rhiannon Delete. Delete, a shot and a great glove save. Oh boy, I'm sorry, that was Erin Simonson from the slot, went low on the glove slide, beat the pad, but not the glove. Gruner with a killer stop.
Yeah, she had to fight that save off, and you could tell because you really want to be down in a butterfly there, and she had to react with the glove, so great reaction.
Killer stop by Avon Gruner to keep this one tied at 2 with 8:40 to play. Sent hard into the Viroqua zone by the Icebergs. Carrying this one is Sylvie Shonka. Nice job to reverse course on her own near side. Her cross-ice pass broken up by Schipper, but she retains the puck. 8:29 to go as she sends this one along. Again, that's chipped, but here's a nice turn by Freya Rising. The freshman almost falling down, striding so hard as she tries to get into the Iceberg zone. But it is the Icebergs that come up, move it to Schipper on that near side. At the point, Schipper gets past one defender, can't get past a second. The referee and the linesman kind of tied up in the mix in front of the Iceberg zone here. Linesman clears out, and the Icebergs come up with the puck. They go for a long outlet pass, trying to find Izzy Newton. It's too strong, though, and Rising has it again for Viroqua. Rising, left wing side, good pass into the center. Gabby with a shot from the center. Backhand is just wide on the left side of the cage. Rising toward the middle of the net. Knocked away to the far side. Set back down, it's Freya Rising again. Taken off her puck and moved forward by Nishis. Stripped away by Rising, though. Freya Rising, the freshman, is doing a job here for the Viroqua Blackhawks, trying to get a score. 7:34 to play in the game. We're all tied at 2. As striding in on that one is Nanini. Sent in by Gabby, and Olsen fires a shot. Now we have a whistle. Big collision back in front of the play here.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the whistle was for.
Maybe an injury was the thought?
Yeah, it's real hard to say.
I haven't seen anyone signaling a penalty.
Yeah, that I got to tell you, the whistle honestly benefits the Icebergs at this point because you can feel momentum starting to shift, and you want to get that break if you feel the momentum leaving you.
I believe that was just an inadvertent whistle because we don't have a signal of any penalty or anything like that. Icebergs at the point, try and hold it, not able to get it clear. In the neutral zone, again, the referee getting tied up with things here as the puck comes in towards the Iceberg zone. Hafel sending that back behind the net for Lewis. At the point, nice hold by Nanini. In to help her is Harnish. 5 players on the scene with an even 7 minutes to play. They dig this one out. Shot comes toward the net, it's no good. Ellefson has her shot blocked, and a nice curve through the middle. Here's Hafel. Hafel takes one more step and now enters on side. Far right wing side. Shot is well wide of the cage and ends up on the near side with 6:45 to play. We are all tied at 2 here at the Matt Community Center. A fantastic hockey game, girls high school hockey here on WSTO.TV, sponsored by Stoughton Hospital and Stoughton Trailer. The Viroqua Blackhawks try and move it up the near side and out of their zone. Again, 5 players coming in, trying to dig this puck up off the wall. Trapped inside, and now Hafel tries to take a shot in. They try to get the deflection in front, but it ends up going to the far edge. Lost puck, and now a chance to turn around the other way. It's Newton. Newton backhand goes for the glove side corner and sends it just high. Big collision on the opposite side there with 6:06 to go. They'll rim this one to the near side, but Hafel able to gather it up and send it back beneath the net once more. Aggressive physical play from both of these teams battling for it. The loose puck comes to Hafel. She works to the top of the circle. Schippel a shot from the slot, and a nice bouncing puck saved by Severson right into the glove.
Yeah, you saw that 5-hole. It was wide open, and she managed to close it down quick and kind of get the glove in there. You really want to make sure you're keeping your stick there, otherwise something's gonna sneak through. But again, more pressure. They just keep coming in waves, and their line changes have been a lot more crisp in this period.
We're even up at 2 here in the third period. We have only 5:51 to play. Erin Olsen in the faceoff dot tries to work her way right to the net, but it's knocked to the wall by Rachel Simonson. On the near side, Viroqua with the puck. They chip it towards the point, and oh boy, a big shove up against the wall in front of the Viroqua net, and knock this one to the far side wall. Blackhawks hustling for it. Schipper tries to get it. They drag a shot and a pad save, closing up that 5-hole that you mentioned, using the pads. This time a nice stop by Severson. Swing over the top, but Schipper's got it. Held at the point once more in Viroqua territory. 5:20 to play in this third period as Viroqua tries to move it along. It works its way towards that pipe, but still loose. And the Blackhawks able to skate it clear in the person of Rachel Simonson. Dangerous move through center of traffic, and it's pinched back behind the net. Newton in towards the slot, nobody there. And the Blackhawks take it to the far wall. Well, they'll skate it out. Moving up is Erin Simonson. Great cross ice to her sister Rachel. Rachel can't drag through traffic as Sophia Mocero, is able to knock that one free, but held in the zone and sought the shot, and a save. Mocero blocks that shot up, working hard for her team here. Simonson taps to the point. Center point, what a hold by the Viroqua Blackhawks as they send that one down. Icebergs try to turn it around, can't do it, and the shot is put back in once more by Shonka of the Blackhawks. Viroqua holds at the point, and now it is kicked into neutral ice. Sent back in by Lydia Fry. Viroqua will go for a change with 4:25 to play.
Yeah, and what the Icebergs want to do here is just get it in that zone again. Try and get a face-off, and again, keep that pressure going. Get a couple more shots. The clock is the enemy at this point.
Blackhawks tap it forward. They've got a little space to move. Moving ahead is Gabby Olsen. Her stretch pass for Freya Rising, out of her reach. Able to knock it back the other way is Rachel Lewis of the Icebergs. Comes to Lewis again, this time in her own zone. She'll send it behind her net with an even 4 minutes to go. 2 scores for the Blackhawks, 2 scores for the Icebergs. This one is tapped down and a hand is up for icing. And that will be the call. We will head back to the Iceberg zone for a big face-off.
Yeah, and this is a gift to Viroqua here, because if they're able to win the face-off, generate a couple shots, you're at that point of the game where it's not sudden death overtime, but you have that feeling that whoever scores next is probably going to get the win. So this is time now for the Icebergs to play solid defense.
3:51 to go in this third and final period. Both teams with 2 goals up on the scoreboard. In the Iceberg zone, striding forward is Gabby Olsen. She works it down beneath the net for Rising. Taken away, though, that time by Nishis of the Icebergs. Nishis gets a little stretch pass ahead, but Nanini, ever steady on defense for the Viroqua Blackhawks, sends that one forward, and again, this one will be ice. No, they wave off the icing that time. Had the hand up initially, but let that one go. Trying to push it up the near side are the Blackhawks. Trapped on the wall and worked down and across. There's Nanini in perfect position reading the pass. Icebergs do manage to send it back into the corner with 3:10 to play. Send this one around, and on the far side, it's Lou Nanini again. Nice little drag forward that time by Angie Harnish. Can't hold the puck, but Nanini tracks it down at her own blue line. Looking for an open pass. Feeds it across, nearly lost to the Icebergs, but gathered up by Rhiannon Deline. Deline's cross ice goes long. This time the hand is up for icing, And no ice is the call, waved off by the referee. He wanted the Icebergs to get after it. 2:44 to play in this game. Still tied at 2 here in the third period at the Mant Community Center. A turnaround and a loss of the edge by Shonka, but we have a penalty coming up. This is going to go against the Icebergs. And for the first time in this game, Viroqua goes on the power play with just 2:35 left to go.
And if you're Viroqua, you couldn't ask for anything better than that right now. You've got about 2.5 minutes left and some change. You're going to get a chance to have your first power play out there. Also, this may help them contain that puck a little bit better, because so far throughout most of the second and all of this period, they haven't been able to get a second or third chance opportunity on the power play. Maybe they can.
Izzy Newton whistled for the body check. That was the call. She'll spend 2 minutes in the box, and there is only 2:35 left to play. Face-off. Viroqua trying to control it. They do held it, and they send it in towards the slot. Top of the circle, a nice little skate around shot from Simonson goes just over the corner. She picked the glove side, had what she wanted, but the shot just high. Viroqua holds, drops it down beneath the net. There's Rachel Simonson. Sends it across. A quick shot is deflected, and they nearly get the chance off the deflection. Can't do it. Nanini, center point. Work it down low. Erin Simonson, back to Nanini. She takes the slot, slides it in. It's loose, deflected, no good. Second chance through the net. Right across the net mouth, but no good as well. Minute 22 on the power play, minute 55 in the period. Nanini trying to hold, and they are going to clear it down. The Icebergs able to send that one. What a series of chances for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, and I'm surprised right now that the Icebergs didn't go for a wholesale line change there. There's still 2 or 3 people out there from that last shift.
Held by Viroqua in neutral ice. They'll look to send it over to Rachel Simonson. Comes up on the right wing side. Top of the circle, drops it to her sister Erin. Back to Rachel in the corner with a minute 30 to play. There's Erin. Her shot is deflected wide. Just out of the reach that time, and a nice, good clear off the stick of Erin Olsen, and now the Icebergs will get 2 more changes. Minute 18 to play, 42 seconds on the power play. Cross ice pass nearly picked off, but they're able to send it forward. Striding forward is Erin Simonson, but it's picked up by the Icebergs, and Samantha Nelson coming on the shorthanded attempt. Nelson still fighting for that puck in Viroqua territory. An even minute to play, 25 seconds on the Blackhawks power play. Here comes Viroqua striding up the left side. Pass ahead, nice chip in, and Caden Stalline will chase after it. The freshman giving chase behind the net, and a nice clear by Haley Hafel. We've called her name a lot. The junior has had a big impact on this game for the Icebergs.
Absolutely. So far, everybody has really been clicking it for the Icebergs, and they just want to maybe get into an overtime and see if they can get that winning goal.
Both teams full strength. That shot goes just wide. What a rip from Lydia Fry. Now trying to move forward is Sydney Schipper. Schipper able to chop it into the Viroqua zone. Just 22 seconds remain in this game. Erin Olsen for the Icebergs tries to give it ahead toward Izzy Newton. 15 seconds, and coming on the stride is Erin Simonson. Simonson drags it toward the center of the ice. It's poked off her tape. Teammates following along. 8 seconds to play. It's deep in for Schipper in the Iceberg zone. She'll rim it to the near side. 3 seconds to play. Loose puck. One last chance for Simonson. Shoots, and it's saved away. Simonson gets it loose in the high slot. The final shot is saved by Avon Gruner. We will take a 3-minute intermission here, and then we will head to overtime.
Yeah, that was a great last-second shot and an even better save, and that looked like it caught just on the top of that right leg pad. I don't know if that went in, if they would have counted it, because it was so close. But again,
right on the edge.
Great defense from your goaltender. You want them to be your best defensive player. Good penalty kill. Great penalty kill.
Outstanding penalty kill from the Icebergs, but an outstanding power play to boot. It's interesting how you can have that dichotomy. But boy, Viroqua got some pretty looking opportunities, and they did not miss by much in terms of getting a strike that would have given them the win here.
Yeah, no, they really found their groove there on that power play, moving the puck real well. They didn't give up any offensive opportunities, which I kind of figured you were going to see the Icebergs push for, and that's why when they didn't change everybody after that first part, they weren't going to have the legs they needed to make it, so they just stood back and did a great job clearing the puck.
We got about 2 minutes on the intermission. We will have an 8-minute sudden death overtime period here at the Mant Community Center. Folks, big thanks to our sponsors, Stoughton Hospital and Stoughton Trailer. Check us out live on WSTO.tv. This game will be uploaded to YouTube in its entirety once it's completed and edited, and you can always see us on Charter Cable Channel 980. Throughout much of that period, it felt like the Icebergs were in control, and that eventually led to getting them the equalizing goal. And then once that happened, it did seem like the Blackhawks found their stride a little bit again. Then on the power play, we really saw what they can do in terms of offensive production. What are you expecting here in this overtime period?
I really think we're going to see a much harder push from the Icebergs. They haven't won a game this season. They're right on that line of doing it, so I think they're going to be pushing even harder. They're going to try and dig deep and generate as many chances as possible. The danger in that is they make some mistakes, and if they're getting a little bit too risky and trying to pinch too much and give it an odd break the other way, that's not going to help them. So they've got to be smart about it while at the same time just throwing everything they can.
42 seconds to go in the intermission. If you're, let's say you're the Blackhawks head coach, what are you saying to them in this period? What do you want to see from your squad in the overtime period?
Get that puck out of our end. We've got to do a better job of clearing our end and then go in transition through the neutral zone. We can't win from our end. We can defend down there, and that's great, but you can't win there. So they have to find a way to break it out and get some controlled possession in their offensive end.
And then you're a goalie by trade. We've got just about 10 seconds left. Are you seeing anything from either goaltender, Avon Gruner for the Icebergs, Abby Severson for the Blackhawks, that you want to see him adjust in this overtime period?
For me, I guess the 5-hole, getting the stick down the middle for the Viroqua. On the other side is being a little bit quicker to a butterfly. Outside of that, their positioning has been really great. Haven't seen as aggressive goaltending as I thought I would, especially in that third period. But either way, each goaltender is carrying their team right now.
They have both made some phenomenal saves to keep their team in it. And boy, have we seen some phenomenal shots. Both teams have had a shot where the shooter got open, picked the right corner, and just missed it. But some great shooting from these teams.
All 4 goals that have been scored have been pretty. They were goal scorer goals.
Faceoff is won by the Icebergs, and we are into the 8-minute overtime period. They control the puck, and here comes Schipper trying to work her way deep into the Viroqua zone. Loses control of the puck. It slides all the way to the near side wall, with just 7:50 on the clock. Coming the other way is Simonson of Viroqua. Puck gets knocked off turf tape, and Kelsey Shaner trying to dig it off the wall in front of the Icebergs bench. It ends up in Viroqua territory. Simonson trying to get after it, can't clear it down, and it's knocked further in by Aaron Olson. Up to the point, a shot goes well wide. I think that was more of a pass, but nobody there to receive it, and Viroqua holds on the near side wall. Up at the point, held again by the Icebergs, comes to the back door, and Viroqua there with 7:23 to play. Good little move as Viroqua moves it ahead. Shonka's pass goes long and into neutral ice. It's dumped back in by the Icebergs, and Viroqua will try and get a nice clean break out of their zone. Lydia Fry coming ahead, cross ice, too strong. She's got a couple of trailers following her, but it ends up being taken by the Icebergs, and coming the other way is Izzy Newton. Wind and a shot. What a stop by Sylvie Shonka on a shot that had all the muscle in the world on it.
Yeah, that was a good high-scoring part of the ice, too, so big defensive play there.
Shonka with a heck of a shot block. Simonson tries to backhand this one forward. They do end up tapping it into the Iceberg zone with 6:40 to play here in the overtime period. It is golden goal. Whoever scores first will win this game. We are tied at 2 after regulation. A nice little tip-tap there by Weber, but she is knocked off it by Lydia Fry, and turning the other way is Freya Rising. Rising, left wing edge. Tries to stop up, look for a play. Dumps it towards the center. Turn and a fire from Deline, and it is deflected away to the far side corner. Deline with it again. The freshman, one of 2 twins, tries to chop this out of midair. She's got it. High slot shot is a little bit light. Didn't quite get all on it that she wanted, but she's got it now on the near side wall. Into the center, and that's just out of reach of Gabby Olson. And coming the other way with it is Samantha Nelson of the Icebergs. She'll dump that one in and let her team get a change with 5:53 to play at overtime. Viroqua trying to move it up on that near side. Schipper does not let it get past her, but Viroqua now digs it off the wall. Cross ice pass towards Deline. No icing is the call, and Deline is behind the defense. Chasing after this puck, she is ridden hard into the boards, and the Icebergs take it away. Angled pass is held, though, that time by Nanini. She shoots toward the back door, and Deline not able to get there.
Yeah, the Icebergs are making some bad decisions on their covering because they are getting open right in front of the net.
Schipper's got a little space, trying to build up a little speed. Gets hassled and hacked at hard by Deline. She's got to be careful there of the slash. Picking this one up is Fry on the near side. Newton battling against the wall. It's sent towards net and gets out just wide. Mocero able to grab that and send it toward the goal. But 5 minutes to play, and here comes Viroqua the other direction. Simonson enters on the right wing side. Now has the puck stripped away from her, and the Icebergs backhand it towards the point. Taken by Rachel Simonson. Her shot goes right into the glove of Avon Gruner. 4:49 to go, and we will have a face-off in the Iceberg zone.
Yeah, a little nervous on that save there because she juggled the puck a little bit when it hit her glove. And again, they did a great job of bringing in everybody around her. But there have been a couple mistakes made by the Icebergs in this overtime period where they are leaving people wide open in order to try and cherry pick themselves. Not a good way to try and win this game.
Face off in the near side, it's won by Viroqua. Held by Sylvie Shonka. Her shot is gloved right off the ice by Gruner. Does a nice job to go down and get that one cleanly, and another face off will come with just 4:44 to play.
I'm pretty sure the Icebergs love to see that shot every day. It's a clean shot coming in, no traffic. That's what they want to see.
Face off this time won by the Icebergs. Striding back forward is Lewis. Turns around the other way, but the Viroqua Blackhawks pick it up off the wall. Simonson trying to send it in towards the net. She kicks it along. A nice job to keep playing with it. Drops it off for her sister. Simonson curls in front. A shot and a save. And the puck comes back out loose into the slot. Nice hold at the point. That one, though, is bodied down. But they managed to break up a clean transition. Now trying to move forward is Samantha Nelson. Nelson drops it off. The shot is no good and ends up behind the net. It'll get the Icebergs a chain. Boy, a lot happened on that play, and it worked out okay for the Blackhawks. It could have gone very badly.
Yeah, absolutely. They got pretty lucky that they weren't able to make something out of that play.
Puck ends up behind the net with 3:59 to play. We are inside of 4 minutes to go here in the overtime period, all tied at 2, as bringing this one up is Rachel Simonson. Drops it off for Aaron. Top of the circle. Simonson to the faceoff dot, now to the wall. Swings over the top. The puck, though, bangs off the referee on the attempted clear, and the Icebergs will have to bring it to the opposite way. Mocero over to Schipper. At the point, pass Viroqua, but a nice job by Simonson to step in and hold it once more. Now the Icebergs do get the clear. There's Newton. She's working one-on-one against Shonka. Gets around Shonka. Newton, backhand and a save as two players go in. And Newton looks like she is a little worse for the wear. She goes hard into the wall after that shot.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little surprised I'm not seeing a call because that was more than incidental contact. And it definitely happened during a scoring opportunity. I'm not saying penalty shot, obviously, but that little too much on that one, I think.
Aggressive physical play, and Newton goes hard into the boards, but she is able to skate off and get to the bench on her own, so hopefully she's all right. Referee coming over, it looks like the just checking in on Newton and offering an explanation to the coach of the Icebergs. So with 3:23 to go in the overtime, we are still tied at 2, and we'll have a face-off far side of the Viroqua zone.
Yeah, Newton was cherry picking on that one, and the problem with cherry picking is she was standing still. So when you get that puck, you got to try and get up to speed. You want to try and get those passes, especially those home run passes, with some speed.
So the referee discussion continues. That's why we haven't begun yet. I think the coaching staff for these Icebergs, led by Matt Gallagher, just wanting an explanation. Now we're ready to go. Face off in the the far side of the Viroqua zone, won by the Icebergs. Hustling a shot in is Hayfel, no good. She taps the puck along, though, and it's held in the zone by Aaron Olsen. Olsen works her way around the edge. Gets this one deep into the corner. Knocks it behind the Viroqua net, and Nanini will pick it up there for the Blackhawks. Nanini delivers a little reverse check against Schipper, and they both battle for the puck. Now it's loose, shot and a save, and a nice job there. Stick in front, pads down, everything you talked about at the break.
Yeah, that's the kind of position you want to see from your goaltender on a shot coming in like that. You're using the stick to cover up that 5-hole. You don't want to give it too big, and now we're getting another timeout, and I think this one's coming from the Icebergs.
The Icebergs do want a timeout, so with 2:59 to go, we will take a 60-second timeout. all square at 2. If we do finish this final 2 minutes and 59 seconds without a score, it will go down in the record books as a tie. As you said, the Icebergs have not gotten their first victory yet this season, and they sure would love to do it here.
They really would, and right now they're doing exactly what they did in that third period. They are getting some looks, they are generating some chances, but the Blackhawks now are definitely pushing harder than they were, I'd have to say, in almost all of that second period and their third period. So the Blackhawks have really kind of risen up to where they need to, and again, the Icebergs are just falling a little short.
They are awfully close to getting it in, but let's not take away anything from the Blackhawks. They have generated their share of offense as well, and their defensive reads, it feels like, in this overtime period have gotten better. They're in position in the passing lanes. They're breaking up the Icebergs' chances a little more effectively.
Yeah, there's definitely more sense of what they're going to be doing, and then you're able to adjust to that. They aren't letting those real long passes come in. We're not seeing any good passes to the slot. They're eating those up. They're getting their sticks in the passing lanes, and that's what they've been building up through this game, and definitely looking solid.
All right, both teams. Let's start with the Icebergs. What do they have to do to get the game winner here?
They got to dig a little bit deeper and get people in front of the net before you shoot. Taking the shot is great, but you need somebody there to take away the vision of that puck coming in or looking for a rebound, because they have given up some pretty big rebounds. You need somebody there to collect them. And on the other side, if you're the Blackhawks, you need to find a way to get consistency in the offensive zone. They're able to get it in, it goes behind the net or to the side boards. They're not able to cycle anything or make something happen deep in that offensive end. So each team needs to do pretty much the same thing.
We'll see who can accomplish it, if anybody. 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in this overtime period. We are all tied at 2. If it finishes up without a score, we'll call it a tie and head home. Face-off, near side of the Viroqua zone. Held by the Icebergs. Shipper tries a shot in. It doesn't work. Simonson taps it to the point, and the Blackhawks get the clear off the stick of Kelsey Shaner. Knock it back, and here's Simonson trying to ride in. Rachel Simonson sends that one along, and she has got some speed as she pursues this puck. Erin Simonson's got it near the face-off dot. Takes a shot toward her sister Rachel. Second shot to save, and a quick cover from Gruner as some bodies hit the ice in the crease. The Simonson sisters, along with Kelsey Shaner, doing a number on the offensive attack there.
Yeah, and Gruner was definitely too deep in the crease there. I mean, really sitting almost right at the post. Needs to come out a little bit. Was able to handle that shot and cover the rebound, but a little more aggressive from the goaltending.
Face off in the Iceberg zone. They do win it back to the rear wall and now rim it to the near side with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this overtime period. Shaner tries the slap shot. It's no good. Puck is chipped high and Nanini's got it. Sends it towards the back wall and it ends up in the far side corner. Olsen there for the Icebergs. She's ridden off the puck by Simonson. Stepping into Shaner. Feeds it along towards Rachel Simonson. They tap it back into the corner, and this one will be taken by Mocero of the Icebergs. She'll skate along to the near side wall with 2:08 to play in the overtime period. Nanini, it gets a little bit by her. At the point, and it is knocked into neutral ice. Held there by Rhiannon Deline and sent back into the Viroqua zone, but cleared out this time by Mocero. Mocero sends it all the way into Blackhawks territory with 1:53 to go, and Nanini picks it up. Hassled by Shipper behind the net. Shipper strips that one away. Poked right through the slot and all the way to the near wall. And this will be taken by Rhiannon Deline. At the point, the Icebergs do hold it and send it back down once again, forcing Nanini to re-grab. Gets around one attacker. Moves this puck forward, a nice pass, and finds Erin Simonson. Simonson's got a 3-on-3 entry with teammates. Moves it back to the point. Nanini striding there and is able to hold the zone for the Blackhawks with 1:23 to go. We've got a player changing as the Icebergs come up the center of the ice. Gabby Olsen swings and misses, and moving forward is Kelsey Waldner. Waldner taken away by Nanini. A great one-handed poke. The referee gets in front of it, and now they've got an opportunity the other way. Shot and a save, just able to close it up. You hate to see that. It just caught the referee's skate. Viroqua was blown the other way. Great job by the Icebergs to capitalize, but Severson makes the stop.
Yeah, and I think the Icebergs need to look at lifting that puck a bit. The past handful of shots that's been coming in have been at ice level. They need to start getting up a little bit higher to find those corners.
66 seconds left in this overtime period, all tied at 2. Face-off, far side of the Viroqua zone. Linesman checks on things, and here we go. The Icebergs control. Work it to the point for Hafel. Try to send it back down to Mocero. Instead, Viroqua has it. Off the glass, takes a funny hop. Hafel's got it. Hafel a shot and a shot blocked by Freya Rising of the Viroqua Blackhawks. Rising blocked up at the blue line, but the Viroqua Blackhawks able to send it in. Quickly cleared out by the Icebergs. Held there by Lydia Fry of Viroqua. Moves it across for Shonka. She sends it ahead towards Gabby Olsen. Collision in front of the benches here as the puck moves into the Viroqua zone. Schipper's got an opportunity here. Shot and a save. Schipper moved it over to Erin Olsen. From the slot, though, she couldn't quite get it cleanly, and with 29 seconds to go, Severson freezes it down.
Oh, I think she's going to have nightmares on that one because she had a winger on her right that if she just skated 1 or 2 strides to the left, would have been a real nice pass play. But again, when you're getting this point in the game, you just want to get that puck on net, and sometimes you don't see everything that's going on around you.
Faceoff will come on the near side of the Viroqua zone. Tied at 2 with 29 seconds to go in overtime. Faceoff is won by Viroqua, and Nanini has it working behind her own net. Avoids one hassle, sends it up the near side wall, follows along, but it's knocked back behind her. Picked up this time by Rhiannon Deline. Deline's pass broken up. She follows along with it at the blue line. Poked in, and here's Rachel Simonson. Simonson gets past Schipper and follows it into the corner with 10 seconds to play. Sends it into the center. Schipper is there. Chips it towards the point. Nanini's got 4 seconds. Slots it in. It's knocked clear. And that is how this game will end. Both teams put in a tremendous effort, and in some ways it's fitting that this one goes down as a tie.
Yeah, each team worked real hard throughout this entire game, and we got to see multiple momentum shifts. But again, it was just good skill throughout that third period and the overtime. And really the only reason this game is a tie, your goaltending.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal goaltending.
Both of these goaltenders, Gruner and Severson, putting in a tremendous performance. With that in mind, players of the game, 1 star from each team. Who do you like?
Gruner and Severson. I mean, that you can't go any other way there. Each goaltender had to stand on their head, especially in that overtime and the last handful of minutes of the third period. And they did everything their team asked them to do, and even more so than that. It's not even a contest, in my opinion.
All right, for the Blackhawks then, I am going to go, you could go a lot of different ways. I'm going to go with Gabby Olsen, a freshman, 5'2", so one of the smallest players on the ice, doesn't have a goal yet this season, and yet we were calling her number all over the place. A scrappy, aggressive player, not afraid to mix it up, not afraid to get into the wall, try and dig these pucks out. I thought she played a great game. For the Icebergs, I've got to go with Sydney Schipper. I think it's clear watching her skate, she's probably the most talented skater we saw on the ice tonight. She used that to her advantage. She was their first goal, and a big reason why was just the better wheels, the better edges that she's got. She's a heck of a player, and she is definitely going to be an asset for them.
And she has that real long reach, which also helps. And as a forward, when you're able to use that reach in your shot, it really drives goaltenders buggy. So absolutely, 2 great picks. This was a hard game from both teams, and I don't see how either team could not be happy with the way this ended up.
Absolutely, folks. It's a 2-2 tie here at the Mant Community Center. Viroqua and the Icebergs come to a draw after 3 periods and an overtime. That'll do it for us here at WSTO.TV. Big thanks to our sponsors, Stoughton Hospital and Stoughton Trailer. Thanks as well to everyone behind the cameras, Director Spencer Meyer, camera operators Hunter Harrison and Dan Santusky. For my partner Dan Graychuk, my name is Zach Seeloff saying so long, take care of yourselves, and take care of somebody else. We will see you here Tuesday when the boys Stoughton team is in action against Oregon. See you. Good night, everybody.
This broadcast of Icebergs Hockey on the Icebergs Television Network is brought to you by Stoughton Hospital. For more than 100 years, our neighbors in the Stoughton area have trusted Stoughton Hospital to provide personalized, forward-thinking expert health care. Stoughton Hospital is a proud supporter of WSTO programming, trusted care close to home in both Stoughton and Oregon. Stoughton Trailers is proud to support Stoughton High School athletics. Come join the family. Apply now on our career page at stoughtontrailers.com. Four Lakes Broadband, robust business class residential fixed wireless internet service with great customer service. The Icebergs television network is powered by the Stoughton Sports Network.